Good morning, my friends. Welcome to this daily collective reading. Let's read the energy around the collective for today. What is going on today? Devil. Okay, so we're looking at our motivations, our intentions. Considering what we saw in yesterday's reading, it feels like examining intentions may be a good idea, just to be sure, if we know what our intentions are, then we know what our motivations are. And if we know what our motivations are, then we can sort of have some insight into whether or not we're acting from the perspective of the ego or spirit. Right? Are we looking at things from a higher perspective, or are we looking at them from an ego-driven perspective, maybe a wound-driven perspective? Queen of Rods, so feeling really passionate about stuff today, feeling like we need to recover. Four of Swords, and also feeling like we need to really be focused forward. So examining our intentions as we focus forward, recovering from what felt like a big blow, like we saw yesterday's reading, and really tapping into our creative side, really tapping into the side that is driven by our passion, the pursuit of our passion. Perhaps that's why the Devil card is coming up here today, to say, make sure you know what your intentions are. Moving forward, Three of Wands, after you recover from this Four of Swords, it's time to really move forward with passion as your focus. This is interesting. So I feel like we're moving past some energies. We're still recovering with that Four of Swords, needing to put our mind to rest, really needing to put the thoughts to rest. Don't need to think about this anymore. Time to move forward. Start imagining where you want to be, where you see yourself. Where does it resonate for you? Where do you feel like you're in alignment with your creative side, and also the part of you that's very expressive and very free to express passionately and to be authentic and to question those motivations? Let's see, what else do we see here? Let's look at that Devil card. There's your Tower. Yeah, so you're really building a brand new foundation here, and we're closing the door on a lot of stuff and seeing the truth. I'm looking at that Devil card and seeing the Tower and thinking to myself, really knowing the truth about your motives, your intentions, what's driving you is in a sense a clearing of sorts, because you're really clearing out any doubt. You're clearing out uncertainty. You may be clearing even that need to really be overthinking things too much. And I'm thinking about that Queen of Rods and how she's motivated by her energy. Her energy is really motivated by her passion. She's not thinking about it too much. There's the Fool. So we are starting a new journey. And so that Tower card is really clearing out anything that needs clearing before we begin this new leg, this new journey where we're still needing to recover a bit, but it's like we're already thinking ahead about, that's where the focus is. The focus is on what's coming up. And that Tower is clearing out anything that needs clearing so that you're light. You're moving forward lightly. You're not carrying a lot of baggage. Page of Swords, and you're keeping your sword nice and close to your chest. You're not talking about this. You're just doing it. You're not talking about what you're going to do. People are just going to see it. You don't need to talk about it. I feel like this is a new day for you in terms of honoring your stuff and not feeling like you need to talk about it so much. And you don't even need to talk about the fact that you're still recovering from that huge separation and that ending, and that you're still thinking about the future. You don't need to be talking about it. This feels like a new perspective on sort of honoring your own stuff without it being sort of out there. It's a new perspective on communication. And I think you're just being silent. You're not really communicating about this. You're just doing it. Ooh, look at that. We see the Hanged Man coming out, 8 of Cups, and the 6 of Wands. We saw the 6 of Wands yesterday. I love seeing it again because that's really saying that as you move away from things, you will be victorious. Even if you're slightly resistant to moving away from things, this energy of the 8 of Cups is still here and you are moving forward towards something. And seeing that Hanged Man says, you know, you may have had to sacrifice something, but you know, coming out of yesterday's reading, it doesn't feel like much of a sacrifice. It feels like walking away. And perhaps that's why the Hangman is in reverse. It's a time where you may be guided to just trust the process, even if it's painful, even if it involves something that was sort of needing to end, you know, an ending. An ending could be painful regardless, even if it's necessary, right? It can still be kind of painful. So I feel like as you are processing this separation, as you are allowing yourself to move forward to the future, you know, there's a part of you emotionally still clinging. That 8 of Cups makes me feel like your feelings are still a bit raw. You know, your feelings are still a bit raw, but you're recovering. You're recovering, and it feels like you're doing so by putting your mind to rest, by not speaking about it, by not thinking about it, by just focusing your attention and your intention forward and on your journey, on what's awakening your intuitive guide. You know, that Queen of Rods, that Queen of Wands has so much energy, and it's focused on what makes her feel like she's embracing life. And so if I'm interpreting this energy the way I'm seeing it, you're just being guided to focus on yourself and what makes you feel good. And that's the path that will lead to your victory. That's the path that you're embarking on now that will lead to your victory. And yes, are you still feeling a little bit emotional about this situation? Sure. You know, separation, even when it's necessary, is painful. And especially if there's a history there, or if there's a lot of emotional baggage. I can't help but feel like that's why this tower is here. It's trying to help separate you from this. You know what I mean? And to help you examine, why are you still thinking about it? And maybe it's time to put your mind to rest. And you know, you don't need to talk about this. You know, certainly talking to people about it just keeps it alive. You know what I mean? And thinking about it keeps it alive. Let's look at the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So your divine connection seems to be your focus and your guide, because you're moving towards something that is coming from an ending. And I can't help but feel that they're related, that by you allowing that situation to end, that relationship, that experience to end, you're not only shifting timelines, but you're actually, it's almost like your baggage is going out to sea. Like you're not taking this forward. I really feel like you're not taking this forward. I can't help but wonder though, emotionally, if you're still clinging a little bit, maybe some nostalgia, maybe some memories, maybe it's just so, it almost feels surreal that you're walking away from this. I think that's how impactful that situation was on you, that it's almost hard to believe that you're walking away from it sometimes. It's very interesting. I will grab you an oracle card to send you on your way, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Let's see, to close this reading, what are some encouraging themes for the collective? Oh yeah. You are definitely co-creating something beautiful here with the universe. And you're at a fork in the road, my friends. It's time to pick your direction. This card always reminds me of those books. Do you remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books? Where literally you are on a new path here. This is confirmation. You get to write this. You get to choose which way you go down this fork in the road using your divine connection, your Queen of Wands energy, your High Priestess energy. You're using your own set of markers to guide your path. This is all based on what resonates for you. And I love this fork in the road card. And it's interesting because both of these cards have a little owl in them. I don't know if you can see that, but that owl always makes me think of you're with spirit right now. You're connected to your intuition. Your divine connection is wide open and it's guiding you. And seeing that devil card at the beginning of the reading, now it makes sense. I feel like this is a time where not only are you at a fork in the road to decide what kind of adventure you want to have next, but also what will you let guide you? Will you let your ego guide you, or will you let your higher self guide you? So this fork in the road could be more about the direction you take, but also about what are you letting be your guide. Okay, my friends, we're going to leave it at that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sending you so much love and light.